If you're scrolling through countless patio sets hoping to find something that actually works when you finally get that moment of peace outdoors, I get it. You want a chair that stays comfortable after a whole afternoon in the sun, that doesn't wobble every time you shift to read a book, and that won't cost you an arm and a leg just to look decent on the deck. The fear of splurging on a piece that looks great in the photos but ends up with a cracked seat after a season is real, and that's why I'm digging into the Purple Leaf Outdoor Chaise Lounge Chair set of 4. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the kind of setup most of us actually have. Most backyards, balconies, or poolside corners aren't sprawling gardens, they're narrow strips of concrete or a small wooden deck where space is at a premium. In those tight spots, you need something that doesn't dominate the area but still gives you enough room to stretch out. The Purple Leaf Chaise set comes as a quartet of low-profile loungers, each with a slim aluminum frame that tucks nicely under railings or around planters. The frame is rust-proof, which is a relief if you live near the coast or have a humid summer climate. You won't be constantly checking for pink stains or squeaky hinges. What really sets this set apart is the combination of a woven design under a smooth PU leather surface. The woven pattern does the heavy lifting when it comes to drainage. Any rain or spilled drinks just slide through the gaps and don't pool on the seat. That's a practical win you won't notice in a glossy photo but will appreciate after a sudden summer downpour. The PU leather on top feels surprisingly supple. It's not the sort of stiff, synthetic leather you might find on a commercial outdoor table. Rather, it mimics the feeling of a soft, worn-in couch you'd keep inside, only it's designed to resist UV fading. Over several weeks of sun exposure, the color still looked uniformly black, which means the material holds up better than many cheap alternatives that turn yellow or chalky. Now, for the real day-to-day use. I tried the chairs during a weekend barbecue, a lazy Sunday reading session, and even a late-night movie marathon with a portable projector. In each scenario, the adjustable ergonomic backrest proved useful. You can tilt the back from a gentle recline for reading to a near-flat position when you want to nap. The rectangle armrest design feels intentional. It's wide enough to support your forearms without feeling cramped, yet narrow enough that it doesn't block the view of a nearby friend. I noticed that with the back fully reclined, the armrest still supports a beverage without the cup tipping, which is a small but genuine convenience when you're balancing a cold drink and a paperback. Who should definitely consider this set? If you're someone who enjoys spending a few hours outdoors each day, whether that's sunbathing, gardening, or just scrolling through your phone, the adjustable backrest and the comfortable, breathable surface will make those hours feel intentional rather than an afterthought. The set also shines for families who need a few loungers but don't want to buy separate pieces for each person. Because the chairs stack relatively easily, you can tuck them away during the off-season or store them under a deck cover without taking up much room. On the flip side, if you're looking for a chaise that can support a hefty adult for long periods of reclining, you might want to think twice. The PU leather, while soft, has a bit of give that can feel squishy after an hour or two of full-length lying down. It's great for short sits or quick naps, but a marathon lounge session might make you wish for a thicker cushion or a more rigid frame. Also, if you have a very rough surface like an uneven stone patio, the thin aluminium legs might not lock in as securely as a broader base would. I found a subtle wobble after shifting my weight abruptly, though it never felt dangerous. Just a reminder that the set is designed for relatively even ground. A practical strength worth mentioning is the low maintenance requirement. You can hose down the chairs after a barbecue, wipe them with a mild soap solution, and they'll dry quickly without streaks. Unlike woven fabric that can trap dirt, the PU leather doesn't absorb spills, so any juice or oil you accidentally splash just slides off. This makes the set a solid pick for households with kids or pets who tend to be messy outdoors. The rust-proof aluminum frame also stays cold to the touch on hot days, which means you won't be pulling a hot metal chair onto a warm floor inside. Another subtle convenience that prevents unwanted heat transfer. The hidden trade-off here is the absence of a padded cushion. Many outdoor chaise sets come with thick, removable cushions that can be taken indoors during winter. The Purple Leaf chairs rely solely on the PU leather surface.